Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another day in the Man United transfer window. Another day of stories contradicting each other 24/7. Another day where a player that we are begging Man United to sign is being linked to Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, or Man City. In today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the takeover. I spoke to someone, I read this interesting thread, and people were saying because things are so quiet on the takeover, there generally is the feeling that this is the end, and that the Glazers' decision is coming very soon. And people will say, look, Alice, people have been saying it's the end since March. We were told 3 weeks ago by Reuters something was about to happen about granting exclusivity. But I'm getting and reading information that this really could be the end this week, because I still feel like it's going to drag on till September, but we'll get into that because there's actually a feeling that they're right at the end and is looking more like the Qatar than Saudi. But we'll get into that in a second. But I want to talk about things. I actually believe United are going to sign Onana. I am 99% confident United are going to sign Onana in the coming days. And that is because the news is so what Man United do. And it was a good source, to be fair, a good Dutch source saying, no, we're not getting Onana, he's too expensive, and we're going to get the final keeper. And so many sources coming out saying, no, United are getting the final keeper, Onana's too expensive. But, when Man United have held talks with Onana for a few days, when Man United have registered interest in Onana a couple of weeks ago, and when it's been said by reliable sources in Italy and reliable sources that United are interested in Onana wants to come into looking at new goalkeepers, the deal is expected to be done. And then while that news is coming out, you get United looking at cheaper players. United sources, people that United brief are saying, no, they're looking at cheaper players. No, they're looking at cheaper players. It says to me, United have briefed the media to put out they're looking at cheaper players because they just want to lower the price for Onana, and it means they're going to put in a bid. I think the news on Onana for me today just confirms, because news coming out today that we're not going to get Onana and he's too expensive, confirms to me we are going to get Onana, and that we're playing this game that we did, like we did with Mount and Caicedo, but we used Caicedo as an alternative. We're using the Onana price now and saying that we're poor. We're not as poor as we're making out, but if Ten Hag get the funds, I think we'd be looking at better players than. I think Onana's a great signing, Højlund's a great signing, Mount's a great signing, but I think we'd be looking at some higher spec players. But the thing that's really wound me up today, and the news I wanted to discuss, is De Jong to Manchester City, Lavia to Liverpool. Liverpool have signed 2 midfielders, going to sign Lavia, apparently. Arsenal are looking at Lavia, but they're focused on Declan Rice. Because Chelsea are going to get Caicedo, but then you've got De Jong to City. My absolute head, people. My absolute head with this transfer news. I will tell you this now. Lavia could go to United, but he could go to Arsenal, and he could even go to Liverpool. The thing is, Liverpool have signed 2 midfielders, and they want Lavia. Chelsea will look at Lavia once they've got Caicedo. It's just madness. But I do think United will get Onana. What do I think of Amrabat? I would take him on top of Mount. We need someone that can at least cover that Casemiro role. We desperately need someone that can cover that Casemiro role as well. What do you think of Højlund? I think Højlund's great, but he's not a finished article as well. Tuesday is the 4th of July, Independence Day. Isn't that a holiday for the Yanks? So they wouldn't be doing business then, surely. I guess that's a holiday. Someone tweeted today, oh my God, we're going to get an announcement on the takeover on Tuesday. I don't think we are. But Lavia could happen. But if Lavia goes to Liverpool, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm actually going to lose my mind. Look, I'll share my screen. I tweeted this today. I said, De Jong to Man City, Rice to Arsenal, Caicedo to Chelsea, and Lavia to Liverpool would be my worst nightmare. They were 4 of my top 5 midfielders I wanted to see last month, LOL. The other one was Barella. So these 4 and Barella were like, okay, these are the 4 I want to get. Yeah. And De Jong, I don't know if De Jong will go to City, because he won't leave Barcelona because he's married to them. But City apparently interested in putting a 90 million bid for De Jong. But that came out from the Sun, so do take that with a pinch of salt. Rice to Arsenal is like 99.9% done. Caicedo to Chelsea is very likely to get done. And now Liverpool is seriously looking at Lavia. You've got Ben Jacobs for Fabrizio Romano saying now Liverpool are focused on Lavia. Liverpool have just signed 2 midfielders. Liverpool will finish above us next season. City will finish above us next season. Arsenal will finish above us next season. And Newcastle will finish above us next season. We're not finishing in the top 4 next season if things are going the way they look to be going. Now, things can change. Let's evaluate the situation in August and not rush to conclusions, but we won't. 5th place gets us in the Champions League next season. Not the end of the world, but let's be honest, we should be third and a trophy, we should be looking to go title challenge and a better trophy next season. Glazers, United board, well, if we get a trophy and we finish in the top 4, we just generate decent money, la-di-la. If Man United go another 20 years of being a will they get top 4 or won't they get top 4 club, then we ain't going to be generating much money anymore, and we'll slowly fall down. So run us properly, if you want to make money out of us, or just hurry up and sell us. But this is what I'm worried about. Chelsea and Spurs, I think, could be doing some interesting transfers, particularly Spurs. I'm convinced the top 4 is going to be Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Newcastle next season, by the way things are going. And I'm not trying to be super negative. I will evaluate the situation again in August, okay? Will Chelsea catch us up? Will Spurs catch us up? Will United catch us up? That depends on business. 5th gets us into the Champions League next season. But I'm just looking at the quality of midfielders our rivals are signing. I like Mason Mount. And look, Mason Mount's a better player technically than Lavia. Very different players, but Lavia will probably be better than Mason Mount in the future. But, Caicedo, Declan Rice and Frenkie De Jong are different levels. And they're way more what United need than Mason Mount, in my sense. They're way more what we need in terms of a profile of midfielder. And I think, and the reason I'm not going to be too negative is because it was made clear Ten Hag wants another midfielder on top of Mason Mount. I think if Ten Hag knew he could only get one midfielder, I don't think Mason Mount would be the priority. I think United are doing what they did last season and completely just underplaying the budget, and actually might do something for a midfielder in August. And I've said this for a while. I don't think Mount would be the number 1 priority target if we had this really limited budget that we're making out that we have. But for me, it is my worst nightmare, some of the news coming out. Typical that Frenkie De Jong's going to City. Luckily, it's come from the Sun. But if Fabrizio Romano or Ornstein gets on this, I might cry. Jurriën Timber to Arsenal, Kim Min-jae to Bayern Munich. That wasn't very nice. Caicedo to Chelsea, Rice to Arsenal. I mean, I didn't really want McAllister, to be honest. I wasn't that fussed about McAllister to Liverpool, in all honesty. But if Ten Hag wanted him, it was a bit annoying as well. But the Sun, it has come from the Sun, so I'm not stressing it as well. Manchester United will announce Sheikh Yassim's acquisition of the club on Tuesday between 2:30 to 6 p.m. GMT by Sky News. Sky has confirmed that it's a fake account. It's a fake account that, yeah, I wouldn't believe that as well. I'm hoping De Jong still won't leave Barcelona. You know what? I've been complaining that De Jong won't leave Barcelona, but he can stay at Barcelona and not go to City. Liverpool will be doing some good midfield business as well. City are looking for at least one mid. Lost Gundogan and didn't get Rice. De Jong to them could happen. Shaking my head, and that's the thing. It's come out from the Sun, but it really could happen. It really could happen. That's the thing. It's a very City. It's a player Pep would want to sign, and City do have good relationships with Barcelona because half their players are going to Barca. But again, it has only come out from the Sun as well. Florentino Luis Benfica's a good Casemiro replacement. I've been screaming this for ages. I don't know enough about him, but I've heard other people say that as well. Forget the deadlines. We've heard so many doing this process, and none of them have been true. And we will talk about the takeover and some stuff that we've heard, but no one knows really when the deadline is as well. Love your channel. Big up Jose. What about Ansu Fati? It's not really linked to United. He's obviously had injuries and stuff. Mount and Onana, Højlund doesn't fill me with confidence given our rivals' good business, could easily slip next season. Yeah, I think they're all good signings, but for me to go into next season confident, you've got to be bringing a Frenkie De Jong, a Lavia, a Caicedo, a Declan Rice player on top of that. I think that's where the midfield could struggle. And also, I like Højlund, but is he going to score you the goals? We can't be reliant on Rashford. If Anthony picks up in form, and I do think the impact of having a goalkeeper that's better with their feet will be massive. I think the defence will play a higher line. I think the midfield will play higher up, and I think we'll create more chances and be better on the ball. And I think Mount will be an improvement on Eriksen, who have the energy. But I'm with Alex on this. It doesn't fill me with confidence. Would Inter want Sancho, maybe throw him in a deal with some salary converted to bonuses for Barella? Potentially, but I don't know if Sancho would want to go to Inter as well. I mean, there was talks of United potentially loaning out Sancho, but United, and Fabrizio Romano said this today, regarding Sancho's future, United will only sell him if they get an offer. He's not out of Ten Hag's plans. He's not a priority for Ten Hag, a guaranteed starter, but he's not out of Ten Hag's plans. So the whole Sancho situation depends on if we've got a good offer for him or not. Essentially is what was said on Sancho as well. Onana, what's my name? That will be what we'll be singing as well. Neves will be really good in a couple of years. That's the 18-year-old at Benfica, isn't it, as well? De Jong to City is scary. Should we actually get into the news? Because there's quite a lot of news coming out today. Oh, Palestri's going to get a new contract, which was positive news. Let me find my notes. Are these my notes? My notes, Man United. Are these my notes from today? They are. Let me read Rich Fay's story out quickly. He's talking about selling. This is it. There we go. Wait, I want to get the Sancho story out quickly. Sancho Romano. I wonder if anything comes up. I'll just put Sancho Romano in. Jadon Sancho has not been told that he's out of the Manchester United project, but his future doesn't seem entirely clear yet. What else? Because what else was said by Romano and Sancho? He just said that United weren't going to loan him. I'm pretty sure. Let me find it. Here it is. And this was what was said on Jadon Sancho. At the moment, a loan deal for Sancho seems impossible. So he's saying, look, United weren't going to loan him, but, Sancho's future. Yeah, Romano said this. Jadon Sancho's departure will depend on offers. He's still a player in the picture of Man United's plan, but United did reject a loan offer for Sancho. A loan deal seems impossible for Sancho, and he would only leave Manchester United if a good offer comes in, is what was said on Jadon Sancho as well. I read 40 to 45 million for Højlund. I think that's a good price. Can't over expect of Højlund as expected with young lads. I've seen him miss plenty of sitters and decision making and mistakes. The thing about Højlund is he's raw. He's like when City signed Julian Alvarez. This is a very good young technical player, but had City started Julian Alvarez strike every single game, he's not going to get the numbers that Haaland got. Do you know what I mean? I 100% agree with that on Højlund as well. So what was said regarding United and actual news? Man United are in talks with Facundo Pellistri, and they're going to offer him an improved contract. Ten Hag's a big fan of Pellistri. Now, this news I really liked coming in about Facundo Pellistri to getting a new contract, because I think he will go out on loan. And I was frustrated that Weghorst came on the FA Cup final, not Pellistri. I think Pellistri would have had more impact. But Man United giving Pellistri a new contract, and then I hope we give him a good loan. A loan to a club that's going to be positive in possession. I think he would do well at a Brighton or a Brentford. I'm not sure if he's quite that level. I think he's got potential to be that level. I think Facundo Pellistri is a lot better than we think. I really rate this guy highly. He went to the World Cup with Uruguay. We know Brighton like the South American players. I tell you this now, I'd like to see him get a loan move to someone like Brighton or Brentford. Don't think that will happen though. Or at least see Ahmad get a good loan move. It said that United are keeping the options open with Marcel Sabitzer, but mate, if we're signing Sabitzer or Mount, you might as well just sign one or the other. Mount is better than Sabitzer. It was also said that United would actually listen to offers for Hannibal Mejbri, with Dortmund one of the many sides interested. And this is permanent offer as well, which is interesting because I feel like Dortmund will sign him for 15 million and we'll buy him for 100 million in a few years. I think if you're going to listen to offers for Hannibal Mejbri, we should be asking for 20 million pounds because we need to be selling academy stars. For Ethan Lair for 800k, Sedan Iqbal for €1 million. We need to stop being stupid when we sell academy stars as well. AC Milan are interested in Donny van der Beek reportedly, but it's not come out from a reliable source. But I want to get into this story before I get into the takeover, before I get into the other transfer news, because I want to talk about FFP, Man United's favourite excuse, FFP. And then we're going to talk about Onana. And I'm going to tell you why I'm really confident United are going to sign Onana in a second as well. So Pellistri should have played more last term, pacey, technical and hardworking. 100% agree. When we brought Weghorst on, when we were 2-1 down to Man City in the FA Cup final, I thought, what is Weghorst going to do? Nothing. He's tall. He's good when you're maybe 2-1 up and you need someone defensive. I said, bring Pellistri, and I saw how much trouble Garnacho was causing. I was like, I wonder Pellistri would cause a lot more trouble than Weghorst, but we didn't bring Pellistri on, and that wound me up. We didn't bring Pellistri on. Instead, we brought Weghorst on, and that's what I didn't get. But I guess Weghorst is more experienced as well. I think Højlund and Onana have fair prices, but realistically, we need at least a cheap striker alongside him for good sake. Sell players. Hende was supposed to be quick sale for us. We should be selling Henderson. We should be selling McTominay. And getting into this story, Scott McTominay has been linked with a number of moves this summer, but Man United have provisionally planned his sale as he is have not provisionally planned his sale as he's their youngest senior midfielder and would find it difficult to offload and replace him. Rubbish. A proper club sells McTominay. A proper club would have sold McTominay last summer. McTominay, yes, maybe if used right in an advanced 8 role next to Casemiro, maybe there could be a really good and special player in McTominay that we see once every 6 months and, you see every now and then for international duty. But if we keep going on about FFP this, FFP that, and needing to raise money through sales, and we know we could get about 35 million for Scott McTominay, who would be pure profit because of an academy player, why are we not selling Scott McTominay this summer? FFP this, FFP that. We can't spend we can't spend until we sell. Well, 35 million for Scott McTominay you could get. Probably 30 million because it's United. I reckon you get 30 million for Scott McTominay. Okay? 30 million for Scott McTominay. 25 million for Dean Henderson. That's 55 million. 15 million for Elanga. That's 70 million. Okay? And these prices are realistic, just not for United. Then 20 million for Maguire takes it to 90 million. Then, you know, you get Mejbri, take it to about 105 million. There is your 110 million when you put in all the other bits, and then De Gea's wages. There is, you probably saved 120 million right there, okay? Right there. You spend your initial budget on Mount, Højlund, and Onana. You make 120 million in sales. You go De Jong, Lavia, Barella. Who else can we get in midfield? Do we have any money left for another striker or potentially a centre-back because Maguire is gone? Because why are we selling Fred when we could get 15, 20 million more for McTominay, when Fred played more for us last season, when Fred was more important for us last season? Why don't we sell McTominay? If FFP and raising funds is this big of an issue, why aren't we selling a player that will not start, that is a bench player, that is not been proven to be good enough? And it, you know, why I don't get why we're not desperate to sell McTominay. I don't get it. You know, if Ten Hag doesn't care about McTominay, he didn't play him. You can get 30 million pure profit for him. This whole FFP this, FFP that. The reason we aren't selling McTominay is because United don't want to buy a replacement. United want to sign Højlund, Onana, and Mount, call it a day, and then go on holiday. The board, the team want to go on holiday. Højlund, Onana, Mount, call it a day, go on holiday. If you sell McTominay and you sell Maguire, oh, we've got to go find another midfielder. We've got to go find another centre-back. Sell McTominay, bring in Lavia. I'm sorry, Lavia 40 million, McTominay 30 million. Sell McTominay, bring in Lavia, spend that extra 10 million. It's actually not that difficult, but United will make it sound extremely difficult. Man United will make it sound like breaking out the most secure prison in the world is how difficult it is to sign Lavia. For me, Mason Mount can't be the only midfield signing when we need someone to, one, cover Casemiro and two, help with defensive problems. For me. And I think, for me, McTominay should be sold. I miss the days when we could make a competent signing. I think the worst part about this transfer window is I like Onana, I like Mount, Mount wasn't in my top 5 or 10 midfielders to sign, but I do think Mount's a good player. I really like Onana, and I do really like Rasmus Højlund. But it's the fact that our rivals are doing unbelievable business. Declan Rice to Arsenal, Caicedo to Chelsea. Liverpool have signed 2 midfielders, now set to sign Lavia, Frenkie De Jong to City. You compare those players that are going to rivals to our signings of Mason Mount and Højlund. Onana, very good deal, really good to transition us. Højlund, great young technical player, but I don't think he's going to have a mass impact because he's so young. And of course, you know, Mount's a good player and improvement on Eriksen, but we need someone to help with retention and control. Does Mount offer that? We'll have to see. I think Ten Hag, the way that we pushed and forced the Mount, clearly sees Mount as this player that's going to be very important for him, so we will have to wait and see with that as well. Onana soon, but I'm being honest, I do think we're going to sign Onana very soon. I am going to get into that because I spoke about it a little bit at the beginning. Scott's been in the first team for 5 years, getting to his later 20s. He's clearly not United level exactly. And I do think, you know, we have misprofiled him, but I do think it's better for Scott to move on. I reckon he goes to a Newcastle United. They play him in a more advanced role, free him up a bit, and they might love him. You know, I tell you this now. McTominay's going to be one of those players I see somehow surviving to his 30. McTominay is just a Tom Cleverley, let's be honest. We should be competent and get rid of those players. We keep on to dead players as well. We keep on to dead players. That is the problem. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly should have been sold years ago. Phil Jones in particular, no, we gave him a new contract. Bailly, injured Maguire played over him. I thought Bailly was better than Maguire, but, you know, we should have sold Bailly 2 seasons ago when he had some worth. We didn't. We offered him a new contract as well. Buy Sangare for PSV for 20 million. The thing is, I don't think Ten Hag rates Sangare in all honesty as well. Nobody wants our players at all on 300k a week. That's the problem. The reason we can't sell Maguire is Maguire could play 1 minute of football between now and the Euros, and Gareth Southgate will be starting Maguire every single game of the Euros. So Maguire's like, if I'm on 200k a week at United, and I know I'm not going to play much, but I'm going to play in the Euros, I might as well stay at United on 200k a week, then move to another club, be on 100k a week. You know, he knows that Southgate will play him, so Maguire's got no motivation to leave because Southgate will pick him as well. Scott McTominay is only on about 30k a week, so he might be one of the easiest to sell, which is a good point there as well, actually. You make it sound that easy to sell players. You're expect forgetting to bring up their garbage when you're trying to sell. Look, it's not as easy as I've made it out to sell players, but it's not as hard as United make it out. McTominay, as mentioned, is only on about 30k a week. He's a particularly easy player to sell, but the problem is, you know, United, when they sell, make a big muppet of it. And because teams know that United are pretty useless in negotiating, they massively undersell. You know, look at Chelsea have shown you how to sell. Bar a few dodgy Saudi deals, Chelsea have shown you how to sell. Okay? And Chelsea finished 12th. Chelsea have shown you not how to sell. Scale Scott and buy Lavia. These idiots are so goddamn lazy. I mean, that's what I would do, but I'm not saying it's as easy as you sell Scott, you buy Lavia, but you need to have a plan. You need to be going, okay, McTominay, you're not in the plan, you're not good enough. Lavia, he's one for the future. That's what we need to do. Fred is far better than McTominay. I agree. I would have kept Fred and I would have sold McTominay because you can get more money from McTominay. Qatar to United. Please get me Qatar. It's not FFP. It's the fact we're paying towards all those owed deals and debt absorbs incomings. That's exactly why our budget will dramatically increase if we get Qatar and they'll clear the debt. And always need 8 homegrown players. We do, but I think, you know, we've got a lot of homegrown players. Oh, I've got a super chat here. Thank you very much for the super chat. I think part of the reason they don't want to get rid of McTominay is because Fletcher rates him and he's a top young talent. He's so average. Top young talent at 25. He's older than Donny van de Beek. We always talk about, you know, like how we used to talk about Lingard at 26 if he's young. You know, like a few years ago, we'd say, oh, Lingard's an academy player, he's young. And I'd be like, no, Lingard's 26, he's 27, he's not young. McTominay is 26. Scott McTominay is 26, okay? He's in his prime. We talk about McTominay as if he's 21, 22. He's 26. It was like how we used to talk about Jesse Lingard. You know, he's not young. You know, no business plan at United. Very lack of business plan as well. Is he on 60k? I know he's on about between 30 and 60k a week, but nothing crazy. What's the news today? I'm reading regarding Jim Ratcliffe and United takeover. So regarding the takeover quickly, basically the reason that it is so quiet is because they are finalising things regarding the takeover, and the feeling is that either the Glazers will take a U-turn and stay, or it's going to Qatar. As a lot of people saying, while Sir Jim Ratcliffe is still in the race, there's a belief from those on the inside that the Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal may not be possible because of him potentially, you know, other shareholders suing the Glazers, and actually majority of the Glazer siblings don't want Sir Jim. It's just Abraham and Joe. So, but the interesting thing that came out in the takeover today was the feeling that it was going to move particularly quick. And the feeling and the reason they think the takeover is going to move particularly quick is because it's very quiet, and it's very quiet because they're in those final stages. They're doing the paperwork, and it's expected now. You can just laugh because it's been expected for months that they're going to name an exclusive bidder, but a lot of this and that had been coming out for months. The feeling is that actually the expected bidder will be named soon. It's not going to go on much longer, which, you know, 3 weeks ago, Reuters said Qatar were going to get exclusivity. Nothing's happened. But people are saying that they're being particularly quiet, and they're particularly in a very advanced stage. They've got everything kind of prepared behind the scenes, so when they get the new owner in, it can be sorted quick. But there is a feeling that the decision is going to be made in the coming days regarding the takeover. Please do smash the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Scott going to be 27 next season, baffling the certain academy graduates get. It's mad. Absolutely mad. He's fine as a bench player, but if you can sell him for 30-40 million and bring in Lavia, I'd rather have Lavia on my bench as well. Fred's on higher wages, to be fair, as well. But there's a bit more on the takeover as well today. And that is just they think things will move quick. That is essentially the news today on the takeover. The expectation is things are going to move quick within the next week. That's literally what was said on the takeover. The expectation is things are going to move quick within the next week, and the Qataris feel confident. That is literally word for word what we got told on the takeover today. Then you read a bit more into the article, and they say this is what this source had said to them. This is what this financial expert has said to them. People in behind the scenes, you know, Reuters, Bloomberg, saying they feel that, they're going to name the exclusive bidder soon. They were just making sure they've got all the paperwork done for both Sir Jim and both Qatar, so that when the Glazers can come and make that final decision, it's all done. And the reason that Sir Jim and Qatar are doing all the paperwork and all these advanced talks, both of them, is because 4 Glazer siblings want Qatar, 2 Glazer siblings want Sir Jim. All 6 have to agree on it, because all 6 are squabbling back and forth on what to do. They're trying to check the legal situation with the Sir Jim thing. Apparently, all 6 are going to get together this week and make that decision. That is the feeling, and reports are coming out saying the takeover is expected to move very quick. They're doing pretty much everything they've done now between Qatar and Sir Jim. The siblings themselves have got to decide, and that this is probably when they got to decide. But again, you just don't know. We could be sitting here in September. Reports coming out today saying it's going to happen quick, but reports came out last month saying things are going to happen quick. Nothing happened quick. With the takeover, you just don't know. That is the most annoying thing about it as well. The takeover situation feels like deja vu. United are broke. Just 10 days to the first pre-season versus Leeds. We could see a different United team with new players by September, first pre-season game. Hopefully we have Mountain and Onana in for pre-season as well. De Jong won't join City, believe me. Personal terms won't be agreed. That effort will never leave the cheating club. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I would want him to stay at Barcelona and then go to City as well. Glazers are playing with fires. Our financials are a disaster. Can barely get 100 million for transfers. Yeah, seems no urgency. Yeah, I mean, some people are saying it's a fake over. Is this takeover just completely fake, and the Glazers are going to stay and they've just wasted our time? I mean, that would be the worst case scenario as well. Can you recap me on the Onana news? Let's get into that, because I kind of briefly covered it, but I didn't get really into the details here. I don't want Liverpool news. F off. So I'll show you what was actually, I tweeted this. I said, every story about Man United is followed shortly by another story contradicting it. You go on Twitter and you see Andre Onana's price is left 10 on to shift his attention to Feyenoord keeper Justin, and then you get Inter Milan are expecting United's first official offer for Andre Onana in the next few hours. You get 1 minute, you get, no, United are making an official offer for Onana. The next minute, no, we're not getting Onana, he's too expensive. This is what United do when they're about to sign a player. When United are about to put in a bid and sign a player, they put out this story that they're too expensive and they're going to go sign someone else. They're looking at the Feyenoord keeper now. He's too expensive. But at the same time as those stories are coming out, we get another story saying United are about to make the first offer. United leaked this story that they're looking at alternative when they put in their first offer. So for me, the story that when, Onana's too expensive for United that came out today, for me almost confirms Onana's going to be the next transfer. I just said it's just likely a repeat of what we did with Mount and Casado, a tactic to lower the price, to be fair. And we're going to go over to, we'll try Century Devils. They know, you want to come up? They tweet a lot of the information, and with the whole Onana situation, I'm going to read the report. So, this was said by Sky. Just in, Man United proceeding quickly in their pursuit of Andre Onana. Inter are expecting the first official proposal in the next few hours, and that's in line with their evaluation of 50 million euros. So Sky Sports saying Inter are expecting a proposal with United in for Onana. So the same day we're hearing that United are going to make the proposal for Onana, it's going to happen today. We hear United leaking to journalists that they're going to go and sign a Feyenoord player. You see you get stories coming out that United are actually looking at other keepers like Trapp, Diogo Costa, because Onana's too expensive. You get United, you get all these stories saying, look, United are looking at other players. There's not a price on the Feyenoord player. United see him as cheaper. Onana's going to cost too much. Ten Hag's going to shift his attention to the Feyenoord keeper. This is a United game. This is a United game, because other sources say Inter Milan are optimistic about Andre Onana's transfer to United. They're pursuing a replacement. United are yet to make an official bid for the clubs from Continental Cup. Man United have been in talks with Onana for a while. They've had so many meetings. They know the price. They've had so many talks. Onana wants to come to United. United's interest in Onana is genuine. United are preparing their Onana bid. The same day we're getting told United are preparing their Onana bid, and just after United have had days of talks with Onana, we are now getting reports coming out saying, oh, he's too expensive. They're going for other options. They always do this when they're going to sign and put a bid for a player. They'll always play. They'll be talking about this Feyenoord keeper saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. For me, that confirms we're making this Onana bid very soon. Because it's the game that United play whenever they sign someone. They start pretending they can't afford the player, or they're looking at other options. They do this every time they're about to sign someone. They can't afford pretending. We're going to sign this keeper instead. And really, as Sky Sports has said, Man United proceeding quickly in their pursuit of Andre Onana. Inter are expecting the first official proposal in the next few hours, and that's in line with their valuation of 50 million euros plus bonuses. They're saying the offer Man United are going to put in will be in line with their evaluation as well. I don't think it will. I think United will put in a bid, and I think it will be rejected, and United will bid low and play the broke card and faff about for a week or two. And it'd be nice to get Andre Onana to United absolutely done and dusted before pre-season, but I don't think that will happen. I think we'll put in a couple bids faff around and it will take 2-3 weeks to wrap up. But I think all the stories coming out that we're looking at other keepers and Onana's too expensive. For me, I just see it as a confirmation of we're making a move for Onana. It's a game that we always play. Endless motion. Yeah, there are concerns about replacing a player that is not good enough. Can't believe they think it's a problem. Man United have concerns about replacing McTominay. United have concerns about replacing Donny van de Beek. You'll hear next as well. I have a feeling Gio Reyna and Gio Simone would fit Ten Hag's scheme without a doubt. Not super familiar with them as well. Scrolling down with the news though as well. I'm very behind on the news as well. Kevin Trapp also a cool goalkeeper, but Ten Hag wants Onana. Ten Hag's made it clear he wants Onana. Onana's available for a reasonable price. Onana wants to come. United have no excuse not to sign Onana as well. 10 days before pre-season. Alice, what's the situation with the money? As been reading, there's no more we need. United have more money than they say. United have got this 120 million fixed budget. I think United can get Højlund, Mount, and Onana for 150 million, sell a few players, bring in another midfielder, bish, bash, bosh. I think if Ten Hag didn't think he couldn't get another midfielder, he wouldn't have just made Mason Mount his only midfield signing. United's budget is 120 million pounds, okay? If Qatar come in because they clear the debt, it goes to 180 million pounds. Qatar won't be in by the end of the transfer window. I don't think so. So I think it will be the 120 million budget. But I think when they say 120 million, I think it's really about 150, 160 million. I think we've got the budget for Onana, Højlund, and Mount, despite United claiming they've only got the budget for Mount and Onana or Mount and Højlund. I think United have got the budget for all three, and it depends how much they make through sales to see if they can get the fourth signing in, which would probably be another midfielder. That's what I think. I don't think the story that, we can only buy one of Onana and Højlund is true. I think, the Glazers are being tight because they know it's their last summer transfer window. They don't want to release the funds. They'll use FFP as an excuse. You could sell McTominay, you can sell Alanga, you can sell Mejbri, you can sell Donny, you can sell Maguire, you can sell Dean Henderson. You can raise funds. You can even sell Sancho if need be, and you could bring in 10 of the players he wants. I think the United budget, it's just an annoying story. But apparently the budget with Qatar is 180 million. The budget without Qatar is 120 million. Take a ready-made Højlund. Look, the thing about Højlund is he's a good player, but Atalanta are reportedly playing around asking for 85-90 million, which is a bit of a joke as well. Sell Greenwood to Roma. I think Greenwood will go on loan to Roma and link up with that. What about the Gonzalo Ramos? United have been interested in Gonzalo Ramos, scouting him. He's set to leave Benfica. I think this really depends on Højlund. I think we prefer Højlund to Gonzalo Ramos, and I think it depends on the Højlund situation. I think we're out of the Kane situation. We're monitoring the Gonzalo Ramos situation. We clearly like the player, but I think it's massively going to depend on what happens with Højlund as well. Guys, please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below, share the video. I will update you on all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more as well regarding United. I am doing more videos on the second channel, talking about Liverpool, talking about Arsenal as well, talking about Chelsea, and just me reacting to other football news as well, me complaining, basically. I mean, if City sign Frenkie De Jong, I'll be crying on the second channel. I'll be crying. I'll be saying, no, because I tell you what, don't want to see Frenkie De Jong at City. I tell you what, do you know what I've realised? I go on Twitter on my phone, rate limit exceeded, rate limit exceeded, rate limit exceeded. I'm not getting it on my computer. I'm not getting it on my computer today, which is nice. The Twitter's not annoying me as well. Deluded fan. Trust me, I can be deluded at times. I will back us, but I know Man United. Now I think we're going to get Onana because I know how we play in the transfer window. But I'm not stupid, and I'm not stupid. I could very much see us in August with Mason Mount as our only signing because I don't trust United. Actually, why are we not in for Sangare? Ten Hag's just not interested. We've got no interest in Sangare. We were never interested in him when fans wanted him last season. We were linked to CDMs, and Sangare wasn't one of them. If it's just Mount as a new signing for pre-season, that's shambolic. Yeah, I mean, I think Onana should be done. I think Onana could be on the plane. I think Onana will miss the ones first, from between like the 10th and 17th of July. And I think Onana could be potentially on the plane. It will likely be. Do you know what's annoying is Ten Hag would want Højlund, Onana, and Mount on the plane for America. It's going to be like last season where we signed Eriksen and Martinez while we were in Australia, and then they played that Wrexham game. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be, by the time we get them in, it will be end of July and they miss the tour, which would be classic United. Mount will definitely be on pre-season tour. That's done. That's sorted. He'll fly back from holiday straight away, come pre-season tour. I think Onana will be. I think Højlund, because their sporting director also was the guy that mugged us off with Maguire, Højlund could take a while. Højlund, Gonzalo Ramos, Harry Kane. Once Onana's out of the way, Højlund, Gonzalo Ramos, Harry Kane, this, that. Hopefully clarity on the takeover, because I'm not having a will we sign Rasmus Højlund or not for the remaining months of the transfer window, and hopefully we do get start linked to Lavia. It's just United are monitoring the situation. Arsenal got an interest in Lavia. Liverpool are opening talks and holding talks with Lavia. Man United are monitoring the situation. I'd love us to go sign Lavia or De Jong or do something special as well. Obviously, we did a video on Tchouaméni to United today. As I said, I don't think we're going to get Tchouaméni, but it's one to keep an eye on. I see Arsenal fans tweeting about signing Tchouaméni and Mbappe. You've just signed Rice. If United aren't getting Tchouaméni, Arsenal aren't. Arsenal fans, if they're in the top four for the first time in 5 years, they're talking about signing Mbappe and signing Tchouaméni. You've got Havertz, you've got Rice, you've got Timber. You'll probably sign one more player, and that's not going to be Mbappe or Tchouaméni. But they go, no, Mbappe will like Ten Hag's project. No, Mbappe's going to Madrid, mate. Maybe United we get Qatar, but Madrid. Højlund is not ready made. Loads of potential, but still has development. That's the thing. An ideal situation is we sign Harry Kane, Rasmus Højlund, Moises Caicedo, Barella, Diogo Costa, and Julian Timber or Kim Min-jae. But that is an ideal situation. An ideal situation for United is not realistic, because United don't do what any of the fans want them to do. The Glazers won't do what any of the fans want them to do, because if they did, they would have sold the club in March. It's still ongoing. What are United doing? Rice to Arsenal, Caicedo to Chelsea, Lavia to Liverpool, no way. And that's what we were ranting about at the start of the video, to be honest. Any news? You know what I'm really worried is I'm going to refresh the news one day on a live stream. Something really rude's like going to come up, because you just get a weird post sometimes come up on your Twitter. But Tottenham have reached a verbal agreement with Manor Solomon. Here we go. Tottenham are doing some pretty underrated deals. I won't lie to you. But what was I going to show? I was going to show you this. De Jong to City could happen, but it's the Sun. It's from the Sun. Rice to Arsenal will happen. Caicedo to Chelsea will happen. And Lavia to Liverpool. Good sources saying this could happen. My top 5 midfielders were these 4 plus Barella. They could all be going to rivals. If Barella had gone to Newcastle, it would have been the worst case scenario, because our top 5 rivals, because come on, I don't count Spurs as a top 5 rival at the moment. The 4 clubs that are biggest threat to us are Newcastle, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Imagine, City get De Jong, Liverpool get Lavia, Arsenal get Rice, Chelsea got Caicedo, and I mean Tonali's a good player, but had Newcastle got Barella, it would be another level. Imagine my top 5 midfielders going to each one of our rivals. I would feel cursed. I mean, there's other midfielders I really like Maxim Kakare, Enzo Lafay, but it's just shambles. It's just shambles what this club is doing as well. FFP isn't affecting United as much as they claim. What is the second channel? The second channel is called The One with Alice, but I am going to completely rebrand it and change the name actually soon. I'm planning some stuff for the second channel, but it's just more where, because I talk about United on this channel, but if Liverpool or Arsenal or Chelsea do something, I talk about it on the second channel and just talk more about football. But the second channel is called The One with Alice, but I'm very inconsistent at uploading on it as well. If Ten Hag had an interview with Merchant about funds and transfers, how is their stories about Ten Hag being annoyed with the club? Are the club going to back their word? Ten Hag's probably frustrated. Ten Hag's frustrated. He doesn't know about ownership. Ten Hag's like us. He's frustrated. Ten Hag's got a job. In your job, you don't get on with your boss. The people above you, most places you work, the people above you are knobheads. You've got to get on with it. Ten Hag's probably not most pleased, but he knows it's a difficult circumstance. And Ten Hag's probably thinking, well, in January, I could have a transfer window without these buggers here. I could have Qatar backing me. This could just be a one-off bad transfer window, and we've got to catch up in January. be professional, but very frustrated behind the scenes, probably pushing the board to do stuff. It is what I expect to see from Ten Hag. 200 million price tag on Kylian Mbappe. If he's 150 million, I will go for it though. We have been linked with the Iranian striker, but I'm not sure there's much in it as well. How can Arsenal sign too many of FFP too? I mean, it's like FFP only affects United. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, they're going to buy this player and this player and this player. Oh, United FFP. Oh, United FFP. FFP, FFP, FFP. I mean, FFP, if you break it, they won't do anything. Look at Man Bloody City, I think. Not that I'm encouraging United to break FFP as well. This transfer window, how's this any type of reward for the progress Ten Hag made last season? And this is the thing that's most frustrating is we finished in the top 4. We won a trophy. We massively overachieved last season in the sense of my expectations. Ten Hag's built something that's got a really good foundation to it. He's progressed. But if you want to take it to the next level, how can we improve on next season? Well, it's got to be a Premier League, a Champions League, or at least in that title race to the very end, and an FA Cup maybe. You know, that's how we improve. But the way we're adding compared to the players that other teams are set to be adding, I don't see us doing better than third. I don't see us having a better season when, you know, second year of Ten Hag's rebuild is when you'd expect it to kick on. But it can only kick on if he gets the transfer backing. But if everyone else is getting the transfer backing and Ten Hag's transfer backing is mediocre, how can we expect Ten Hag to crack on? You know, it's so frustrating as well. I don't think Havertz to Arsenal is that great of a deal, to be honest. I'm not bothered about that one, but it's the other signings. Alice doing great work. This takeover stuff is testing my patience and chance the business. Hope to see something good in the coming days. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's all coming to an end soon as well. I mean, that for me is, you know, every minute, every hour, every live stream that goes by, we're closer and closer to the end as well. Spurs signing a striker is an indication that Kane could leave, though. I think is an indication that Kane could leave, but we'll have to wait and see as well. Yeah, Casado's very much going to Chelsea. Romano's tweeted, he said yes. Great. Anyway, have you seen the Telegraph post about Onana? Yeah, I think it's a big game. I think we are going to sign Onana, and we're releasing that he's too expensive and that we're going to get this Feyenoord keeper who's got a bad injury record and dramatically worse than Onana, and you might as well stick with Dean Henderson. I think we're playing that we're looking at him because he's Dutch, and actually we will get Onana, but we're just trying to use him to see if we can lower the price. Negotiation tactic. Listen, people, I'm going to wrap up today's live stream, so please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Share the video. Big up everybody who watched today's live stream. A bit of ranting about what rivals are doing and all of that. But I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. If any breaking news comes out, it'll be a video tonight. If not, see you tomorrow morning with any news that comes out in the next 24 hours. See you next time, and bye.